Okay. How's everybody today? Doing well? Okay. Well, we have our second focus activity. We'll wrap it up real quick. I will tell you that I'm wanting to get at least 3 focus activities in before progress reports. So if not in the next couple of days, we'll definitely have one on Tuesday, and I'm looking to turn these in on Wednesday of next week, right before your what? Okay, your exam, first exam of the 6 weeks. Just a quick recap, it'll be covering geometric sequences and series. I'm going to have another little exit ticket for you guys to look at on that topic tomorrow. It's also going to cover currency conversion, which we barely got to start yesterday. We're going to keep going with that today. The systems of equations and the quadratics, and hopefully compound interest. I really like to try and get that in before the end of next week, because what's happening the following week? Okay, IA stuff. In fact, that is when I passed around this packet the other day. And Monday through Friday, starting on the 28th, all the way through Friday the 1st, you can pick a time to sign up, and we can go ahead and talk about anything about the IA you may be having difficulty with, or if you want me to interpret anything I wrote on the feedback. Is there anybody who has not yet signed up for a time? Okay, so a few folks. Okay, let me go ahead, pass that around. There we go. Okay, so we'll get that around. And let's see. We did finish up the systems yesterday. When's that homework due? That homework's due tomorrow. Hopefully that's not too bad. If you have any questions, come on in. That one's kind of unique. The notes are actually both notes and homework, so whatever questions we didn't work together, that's the assignment. And then we'll just keep going. Okay, any questions about what's going to be happening? Okay, who else needed the packet? Okay, Evelyn needs it. Okay, then we'll just start passing it around to these 2 young ladies here. Okay. Well, here is our second focus activity. We're talking about probability again. The students in the school are all vaccinated against measles. 48% of the students are male, of whom 16% have an allergic reaction to the vaccine. 35% of the girls also have an allergic reaction. A student is randomly chosen. Find the probability that the student, A, has an allergic reaction, B, is female, given that a reaction occurs. Okay, so that keyword given tells me that's a what? That's conditional probability. Okay. So how would I approach this problem? Like, what would help me to visualize what's happening here? We're going to go with a Venn diagram, a tree diagram. Eli, what do you think?
I would do a Venn diagram.
Okay, you did a Venn? Okay. All right. I did a tree. Do you want to go ahead and come up and show what your Venn diagram looks like?
I can.
Okay. Absolutely.
See, so I kind of did a Venn diagram. One side was going to be males, and the other side was going to be females.
Okay.
Um, and then I kind of assigned numbers of students to the percentages. So I kind of said, so instead of 48% of the students being males, I said there were 48 males. That kind of helped me conceptualize a little bit more. And then I knew that 16% of the 48 males were going to have the allergic reaction. So I just took 16% of 48, and I got 8. I got 8 males have
Okay.
an allergic reaction. So now we know that there are 40 males who will not have an allergic reaction.
Okay.
And I did the same thing for the girls. So I took 35% of 52, and I got 18. And then so that means that there are going to be 34 girls who do not have an allergic reaction.
Okay, but 18 to do.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
Interesting.
all the numbers up together.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know if that works.
Okay. Well, let's see if your answers work out.
What's up?
Okay. Here's what I did. I had a different idea. I didn't think about a Venn diagram, or go ahead and saying that the population was a certain number and then applying those percentages. I went ahead and started off looking at the population. So it's either going to be broken into male or female. And what do we know about the percents? Do we know one of them? Okay. Since 48% of the students are males, right? So we have a point, okay, or a 48% chance of randomly choosing a male. So that means we have a 52 chance of choosing a female. Well, then the next pair of diverging branches is going to be whether or not they have a what? They have an allergic reaction. So what I did was I just put R for reaction and then NR for no reaction. Okay. So broke it off like that. So R, NR. And then we were told 16% of the males have an allergic reaction. So I went put 0.16 here. Now that leaves 0.84. And then 35% of the females had a reaction. So 0.35, and that would leave what here that didn't have a reaction? 0.65. Because remember, these diverging branches have to add up to 100%. Okay, because even though, say for example, the females only make 52% of the population, that is the whole population of females. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, and that's how I went through it. I'm actually kind of curious to see if you're going to be able to get the same responses, and I would believe you would. In fact, okay, let's see. Because when it says A, find the probability that a randomly chosen student has an allergic reaction. Okay. Well, how many branches would I be looking at? Okay, I'd be looking at two. So it could be an allergic reaction with a male, or it could be an allergic reaction with a female. Okay. So remember, it's been a while since we've talked about these, but the branches themselves are the intersections. So in order to get to the end, the probability of that particular event, we're going to multiply those together. So somebody help me out. 0.48 times 0.16. Okay, 0.0768. That's what I got. And now I need 0.52 times 0.35. Point what? 182. And then the union was to look at all those branches that had the desired outcome that I was looking for. Remember, when we're saying union, we're going to combine those. So I took, for this, the 0.0768, and I added it to that 0.182. So I ended up with 0.2588. Okay, so close to a 26% chance of that happening. Okay. Eli, is working out the same? Cool, very cool. Okay. How many other people had that right? Okay, a few folks. Is everybody okay with how I've gone through it? Any questions? Okay. All right, now, because the other one is conditional probability, why don't I go ahead and give you like a minute, if you haven't already done so, see if you can come up with a response to that. Now, remember, here we're talking about female given that a reaction occurs, so I could write it as the probability of a female being chosen given that we have a reaction based on what I have here. So what would the formula be? F union? F intersection. Okay, so the intersection of female and having a reaction divided by the probability of having the reaction. And the one thing you're going to notice about, these problems, we've seen them a lot in here, you're definitely going to see it on the paper exams. These problems are always progressive. So they're going to have you find certain values, certain ideas, because ultimately they're going to help you do something else. Because in A, we've already found that a reaction does occur. Yes?
So, just to clarify, intersection R over R.
The probability of having a reaction. So basically we're going to be dividing it by the 0.2588 that we previously found.
Yeah, so is that just because you're dividing it is it the way it's worded, given at a regret?
Yeah, that's the way the condition always exists. We always divide by what's given.
Always.
Yes, always. The second event. Okay. Basically, that's the one that's already occurred. All right. Now, we'll go back into the formula in just a second. Does anybody believe they have the answer for B? Okay, what should we get? Samir, what do you think? 0.70. Okay, very good. I went to 4. I said 0.7032, but that's perfect. That's perfect. So about a 70% chance. Now, we already know we're going to be dividing by the 0.2588 because that's the probability of just having a reaction. What was the probability of it being a female? 0.182. Here we go. And we got that from our other branch. There we go. How many people had that one right? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Are there any questions? Okay. The answer, 0.70. I got 0.732. All right. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and start working on the next set of focus activities, hopefully by today, definitely tomorrow, if not today. But I remember we were talking about something the other day. I'd already gotten these first 2 probability ones. What was it you were saying that you would like the other ones to be on? There was something you said you wanted the next ones as a concept for review, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was you were wanting. Does anybody remember what we said we wanted that for the third focus activity to be? No? Okay. Well, if you do happen to remember, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to go back into our list of items that we've already talked about and think about one that we haven't seen in a good while.
Didn't you say you were going to do more of what we did yesterday? But I can't remember what we did yesterday.
Systems? Quadratics?
Maybe that was it, or the one before that.
Before that, we were doing geometric sequences and series.
I think you're talking about doing probability, like stuff like this.
So you want to continue to do probability?
No, I'm just saying it like that's what you were saying.
Okay, so...
But
Okay, but like I said, if anybody remembers, you would let me know. That'd be super. All right, so go ahead and put that to the side. Okay. So right now you have 2. Like I said, hopefully you'll have at least 3 by next week. Maybe 4. Just depends on how much time I have. Is there anybody out there who still needs the key for geometric and has not gotten it? Good. All right. Okay, so we started this yesterday. We haven't talked about it yet. So I'm just going to give you a few more minutes to copy down these conversions here. Okay. So the first column represents, okay, $1 US compared to other countries. Okay. So $1 in the United States is equivalent to $1.33, or whatever the unit that particular country uses. Okay. Now, the second column is going to represent the 1 unit of currency for that particular country, what it's worth in United States currency. So like $1 Australian would be worth about 0.75 cents. Okay. I shouldn't say 0.75 because the point's implied. Yes, ma'am.
do you have another?
I believe I have some of those. Evelyn, did you pick one of those up when you walked in? Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody else need one? All right. I'm not going to have enough room here, so I'll just write it like this. But this whole lesson just revolves around proportions. by ZAR, 13.6334. South African rand. Yo.
The first call, they don't know. Is that number that was your caller?
In the first column, what are we looking at?
KRW.
KRW. There we go. That's 1,091.09. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. Yes. So $1, at least over a year ago, would be worth a lot in South Korea. Remember, there's going to be all types of factors that change these, and they have absolutely changed since I recorded these. But it's really not the measure itself we need, it's the skill that we need to develop. Okay. Because on the paper exams, they'll tell you what the conversion is, and then it's just a matter of setting it up. Yes.
And then we're gonna have next week. Are we gonna be getting like the geometric formula, like the geometric series formulas, or will we have to have this numbers?
Honestly, what I'm thinking about doing, and don't quote me on this yet, especially if we are able to get to the compound and simple interest problems, that is quite a bit of information. I was kind of just thinking about letting you guys use your notes during the exam, because you're going to have a formula book with you anyway. The only thing I would be concerned about is that you spend so much time looking through your notes that you lose time, in class for the exam. So I guess it would kind of be a give and take.
And the quiz tomorrow, what is it specifically going to be, like, focusing on mainly?
Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and move the quiz probably to Friday, just a small little quiz. I'm thinking tomorrow we're just going to do the exit ticket, and then Friday I'll have a geometric sequences and series quiz. Okay. Or since we're doing the exit ticket tomorrow, yeah, I think I was going to combine that with systems and quadratics. I may need to change it, so I'll let you know. But definitely tomorrow we'll be doing the geometric sequence and series exit ticket. And I'm hoping that shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. With any luck, we'll be done with this tomorrow, at least partial Friday's class period at the least, and then that'll give us at least a good 3 days to continue with simple and compound probability, or no, simple and compound interest, I'm sorry. And I just put this little proportion, bless you, over to the side just to kind of show you the first row right here. One US dollar is about 1.33 Australian dollars. So how many Australian dollars is going to be one Australian dollar? So if you do that proportion, that's where you get the 0.75, just to kind of give you an idea. One ratio is going to represent the conversion from one to another, and then the other ratio, which creates the proportion, is going to be basically how much you're wanting to exchange from one form of currency into the other. Okay. All right, did everybody get the key for the geometric sequences and series? And did everybody get the opportunity to sign up for a time to talk about the IA? Cool. Is everybody about ready, or we need a little more time? A little more time? Okay. Really hoping that by the end of this lesson, it's going to make sense. Because it's about money. Okay. Yeah. Maybe later I can change your mind. Yeah. You know what I think occasionally. I was actually thinking about this the other day. That this class is just right after lunch, and maybe the fact that it's right after lunch. You've eaten, you're kind of tired, and you really do want to laugh at these hilarious jokes, but you just don't have the energy to do so. See, there, John's right. John's laughing now. He's giggling. I'm sure when you get home and you get refreshed that second wind, you're just, oh my God, he's so funny. That was the biggest laugh I ever got out of Eli so far. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, are we ready? Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. 18.9032. So MXN 18.9032. What was your other one? NOK 8. Yeah, I think that's 8.27676. Okay, yes. Okay. All right, is everybody good? We have the whole list copied? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's start using it. So our first example, just right off the bat, how many British pounds could be purchased for $560 United States? An easy way to make conversions is to use the proportions like I was referring to. So what we're looking for is the first ratio is always going to be the conversion. So $1 US, if I come back over here, a British pound is 0.74673. Okay. So 0.74673. Hopefully I remember that number correctly. Okay. And then the other one is going to be the actual conversion. Okay, so how many British pounds are you going to be able to get for $560? And how do we solve a proportion? Yeah, you cross multiply. Then you go ahead and divide. So here, a lot of times when you go ahead and cross multiply, the 1 times x is going to give me exactly what I need. Now, occasionally you may have to divide depending on how you set up your proportion. But basically, I'm looking for 560 times the point, and I know it was a 70 number, but I'm going to forget it. 74673. 74673. Okay. So I'm looking at about $418. Okay, and 17 cents. All right. Okay, Spencer. Oh, that's you had a question. Okay. So about $418, let's say 17 cents. And which means that 560 is approximately. Now here, I would guess that they're probably going to go ahead and round it. So while I'm going to go ahead and put the 418.17 here, I'd probably go ahead and do it just to the same number of decimal places. Go ahead and say, or not decimal places, sig figs, and go ahead and just say 420. Okay. Now you're not going to have to worry about doing that on the rest of the problems because we're talking about currency, so decimal answers are perfectly fine. But that's pretty much what we're talking about here. Any questions? Okay. So let's go through, work some other examples. Okay, the following show pictures of some of the common currencies used around the world. Okay, so we have a euro. So $1, okay, is approximately how many euros? Okay, so 0.84, I mean, that's it, that is an 8. 392. Oh, is it 932? Sorry, my bad. Mix those up. 932. Now, how many US dollars is this 5 euro note worth? Okay, so I'm going to start with my first fraction being that ratio. So 1 US dollar is equal to 0.84932. Okay, and that's just a habit that I got into using the abbreviation for the country's currency. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I don't think it's anything they're definitely going to be looking for on the paper exams. But what am I going to set up here in the other one? Will my variable be on the top or the bottom? Top. Okay, so it's got to be X US dollars is going to be worth 5 euro. Or it's 5 euro. There you go. Okay. And then now here, this is an example where we're going to have to divide in order to get that. Does anybody want me to go through the process, or does anybody just want to give me the value? How would you like to do this? Eli, what do you say? Okay, what you got?
I got $5.89.
That is what I got. Okay, I got $5.89. Okay. Does anybody want to see the resulting equation and then how we got that value? No?
We can. Yes.
You do want to see it? Okay. Now remember, to solve a proportion, you're going to cross multiply, right? Okay, so we have the 1 times the 5 is going to give me the 5 equal to X times this value, so I'll make that the coefficient. So 0.84932X. And then just like solving any other equation, if you want to isolate the variable and you're multiplying, you just divide through. So 0.84932. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rely on you guys a lot more to tell me what these values are, because I'm noticing that ever since the update, it's a lot more difficult for me to use the screen on the calculator. So I'm going to try to use that as little as I can today. But would you like to see that in the calculator?
That's okay.
You're okay? All right. Well, let's try the next one. Australian dollar. Okay, so $1 is approximately what? And this was the first one in our list. Okay, 1.33095. 1.033. What? Man, I'm saying the number and I'm putting something different down. 33095. Okay. So how many US dollars is this $10 Australian note worth? Okay, so the first fraction is going to be my ratio here. So 1 US dollar is going to be worth 1.33095 Australian. Okay, equals. Now we're looking for the number of US dollars, so once again, that unknown has to go on top over, okay, 10 Australian dollar note. Okay. Is everybody okay? Now remember, the nice thing about fractions, especially if you're dealing with a proportion, you can set them up in a variety of different ways. You can also flip both of these. As long as the ratios remain consistent, you should be just fine. Okay. Like, for example, if you put the Australians on top and then the United States down below, you're still going to end up with the exact same thing. It's when you start to mix them, that's where you have the problems. So can anybody tell me what you should be getting for this one? Okay, Libby, what'd you get? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you got in. Oh, she hasn't got it yet. Okay. Let's see. Eli, you got the last one, so surely there's a lot. Seymour, here you go.
I got 7.5.
That's what I got. I got $7.51. Okay. There we go. Question. Is that what you got? Yay. Throw another shrimp on the bobby. Now, that's not insensitive, right? I'm not making fun of them. I'm just doing a voice.
No, I was just caught off guard because it wasn't a pun.
No, it wasn't a pun. I was just trying an impression. The dingo ate y'all, baby. Yeah, I don't know. You ever heard that? That has actually, yes, unfortunately. Not making a joke about the dead baby. Wow, okay, that went dark fast. Okay. Next up, Japanese yen. Okay. How many US dollars is the 1,000 Japanese yen note worth? Well, first, $1 is approximately worth what? 113.45, right? Okay. 113.45. Okay, so that's going to be my ratio. So 1 US dollar is equal to 113.45, okay, Japanese yen equals. So again, we're looking for how many US dollars. So that's going to be X USD divided by 1,000 Japanese yen. Okay. Is there anybody who's having any trouble seeing how I'm setting up these ratios, these proportions? Okay. All right. Graceland, what are you getting for this one? How many US dollars would give me 1,000 Japanese yen? I'm getting $8.81. That's exactly right. There we go. And you'll notice some of these are pretty extreme. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Back to British pounds. Okay. So $1 is approximately, Alejandra? How many British pounds? GBP. Okay. So how many US dollars is this 5 British pound note worth? So 1 US dollar over 0.74673 G, that's a 3, BP equals X US dollars over the 5 GBP. All right. And then cross multiply. Let's see who I've not talked to today. Gabby, what are you getting for this one, ma'am? That's what I got, $6.70. Cross multiply, $6.70. That's all there is to it. Okay, how we doing? All right. Now, hopefully nobody's done this. Don't whip out your phone. Don't Google it. Okay, unless anybody already has. No. Okay. Fact or fiction, does the $10,000 note really exist? Yes, it does. In fact, there are still some collectors who have them out there. The last printing was in 1945, but they were discontinued in 1969. Can anybody actually tell me who is on the $10,000 bill?
I know it's a Supreme Court justice, but
No, it was actually a U.S. treasurer
the U.S.
during the Lincoln administration.
Oh, U.S. Treasury.
Okay. I'm going to those capitals. Solomon Chase. Okay. Solomon Chase. I know, it sounds a little fishy to me, but
Okay, okay.
It's okay. His feelings can't be hurt. He's dead. All right. So even I did not know that. It even goes up to, denominations of $100,000. I mean, that's actually pretty cool. Can you imagine, like, walking into a 7-Eleven, buying a pack of gum? If you got change for $100,000? I'm sure they'd be able to help you out, right? Was that my baby?
Nope.
No, but in another real way, yes, it was. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Commission. All right, well, this is something that you may have to do, before or after your proportion. Oh, John, yes. Oh, I thought you had a question. Okay, because you're going to be charged to do this prior to going to other countries. Banks are going to want to make money, and that's really, what banks do, and we're going to talk about that with compound and simple interest. They're a business. They're going to go ahead and take your money and try to make money off of that. Okay, that's the way it goes. So commission, it's generally the case that agents who change money between currencies will charge for the service. The charge is called a commission. There are two main ways that commissions are charged. Okay, one is a fixed percentage. A fixed percentage, usually between 0.5 and 3%, is charged on the amount of currency exchanged. And here's an example. A bank changes US dollars to other currency at a fixed commission of 1.5%. Max wishes to convert $200 to Thai baht, where $1 buys 40.23 Thai baht. All right. So now to go ahead and end the lesson today, I'm going to go ahead and give you, let's say, a minute and a half, okay, to go ahead and figure out how much he's going to be charged and then how much in Thai bath he's going to receive. Okay. And I'll be the first to admit I may not be pronouncing this correctly because I do see a lot of people out there smiling. Am I saying Thai bath? Is it bath or is it something else?
I'm pretty sure it's bath. There's just a really funny name for it.
I don't know. I have no idea. You know, I'm trying my best to be woke. I don't want to step on anybody's feet. Okay.
That's a typo. It's B-A-H-T.
B-A-H-T?
Yeah.
So it's like bot?
Bot, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
That's why.
Okay, okay. So I had no idea. Bot. Okay. I'll buy that. I bought it. But, okay. Guess you could say that's nothing but the truth. See, I'm not making fun of the culture. I'm making a pun. Okay, so just in case. These are recorded, so I try to be culturally sensitive. Culturally, there you go, so I can say it correctly. All right. Well, actually, I mean, I really was being serious because I don't want some parent, what the hell, you know, but yeah, if I can make a joke at the same time, that's cool too. Like, I'm not going to pass up a joke. Right, Caitlin? And I think we'll go ahead and end it today using the random number generator. So, Jocelyn, what seat are you in? 27. Okay, so that will be the last one that I use. So go ahead and keep working on that particular problem. Probability, random, integer. Okay, so I want 27. Okay. Okay. And remember, perfect opportunity. If you're not 100%, you know, talk with your villain buddies around you. See if you're getting the same values. If not, okay, what did you do differently? Okay. In fact, let me make that change on my notes. B-A-H-T. Okay.
Yeah. You're number 3, by the way. I'm number 1. Yeah, Luis. I'm trying to say I don't know my fingers over here.
All right, so I've got 203. Let's go ahead and see if we can get somebody up here to help me out. I got 26, who is empty seat. 25, wow, this is really random. Okay, 4, Libby.
Okay, but I have a question.
Okay,
Why do you necessarily have to plug it into the little like format thing?
you talking about the proportion?
Yes.
Okay, what about it, man?
When you have like a $1 that equals 40.23
Mm-hmm.
Thai baht, and then if you have $200, wouldn't you just multiply?
Now you're simply going to multiply to find the amount of money that you're being changed. So you're actually not converting $200. In fact, I'll go ahead and get it started for you because you're being charged a certain amount. You have to pay for the fee. Now, but see, the problem doesn't say that. It just says you're trying to convert 200. So
So wouldn't it be the
But
8,000.
So you'd be 200
That'd
times
be
40.23. That's how much bot you're
Okay.
going to get.
Well, first off, what's the how much are we being charged?
Well, wait, when we get charged after we get the wait, don't we have to figure out how much bot?
No, you're going to get charged in order to get the service.
Oh, well,
So I'm going to multiply 200 times 0.015, which is $3. Okay. Yeah, and then we subtract it, so you're actually converting. Yeah. There you go. So you're actually converting $197. That's how I read it anyway.
Well, so then my question is, do they take the commission before or after they do the conversion?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's still going to be the same amount. So the 8,000 you got, if you go ahead and remove the 1.5%, should get right back to what we had. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So Libby.
Wait, where'd you get the 0.015?
Oh, because this is what we were told we were being charged.
Oh,
The 1.5%. Okay. So did you want to come on up and show me what that proportion is? Well, the calculator spoke, so it's encouraging. And we're going to help you. Okay. We're going to let you by yourself.
good, because except
These people laugh at my jokes, so they're good people. Okay.
like so.
Alejandro doesn't? You never laughed at my jokes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? It's better than nothing.
These are the exports. I'm just gonna put T. So.
Oh, for the Thai bot? Okay. It is TBH, if you were wondering.
You know, so over that.
There you go.
The conversion, or would you put the two?
I wouldn't put the conversion there because that's what you're trying to find. So I would go ahead and group that with the amount of US dollars you're wanting to change.
So it'd be
So why don't we go ahead and erase that 40 point? And how much are we actually going to convert? Okay. Now we can't, like I said, we can do it that way. We'll just have to still remember to take off the 3%.
so you do it this way, and then you would do.
And what I did, I took out the 1.5% at the beginning, so I just converted $197.
So you put 197 there.
Yes. So 197, and then the other one would be the ratio. So $1 US will buy what? Now, you want to make sure to be consistent, so you're putting the Thai baht up top.
Oh, okay.
So we have to make sure to have that 40, okay, the 40.23 Thai baht up top, and then the $1 US right there. There we go.
My question is, what I was doing wrong, I think, was like I was getting confused by things that I know that the numbers needed to be in different places to like cross multiply, which isn't always the case if you're going to divide, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on your ratio, how you set that up. So now, the amount of money that we're, thank you very much, since we're just about out of time. So you wrote the proportion, thank you. So you'll notice, if we go ahead and cross multiply now, all we have to do is multiply the 197 times 40.23. I was getting 7,925, and I put 0.31. I'll be honest, I am not fluent in the currencies of other countries, so I don't know how their denomination system works. Okay, so, but that's what I got. Is that what you folks were getting? There we go. Good, good, good. And Eli, you're good with the 8,000. You still had to take the 3% or the 1.5%. Okay, good, good, good. Actually, this is fantastic. We don't have a lot left in this lesson, so we might be able to should be able to finish this up tomorrow, even though we have the homework and the exit ticket. We'll kind of see how that plays out. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry? I'm thinking the quiz will probably be Friday. I'd like to have a little quiz on that. Let me ask you a question very quickly before you leave. Do you need to see geometric sequences and series again on a quiz, or do you feel after the exit ticket you're comfortable enough? Okay, then I'll move on with the next one. Thank you, guys. Have a great